How's it going, everybody? I'm Lewis and we have got the Item Incinerator update from the Old School RuneScape team. This and all the updates from this week come from the most recent content poll, PvP and player owned houses. So let's get straight into the Item Incinerator. If you go to your bank settings screen, there's now an option to toggle in the incinerator. With this enabled, there is an incinerator icon in the bottom left of your bank screen. To use the Item Incinerator, grab a stack of items and drag it in to the incinerator. When you do this, you'll be prompted with a message asking if you're sure you want to destroy it. If you press destroy, then the entire stack that you've dropped in the incinerator will get destroyed permanently from the game. So be careful when using this feature. The benefit of this is that items that are usually awkward to get rid of, such as items that you can't note, however you get a lot of them in your bank, can now be easily destroyed. So if you are using that feature, be careful. Some players have voiced concern to the Old School RuneScape team that hijackers of your account could delete your entire bank quickly with this feature. However, this is easy to argue against, because if someone has managed to gain access to your account and can access your bank, then they're going to be able to do that anyway. Make sure you have a bank pin, make sure you've got a secure password, and make sure you use the RuneScape Authenticator for that two-step process. It takes literally a few seconds to set up and it helps secure you a whole lot better. Additionally, if you are trying to make sure you are secure, make sure you've got that sort of stuff on your email, unique passwords, authentication, etc. You don't want the possibility of someone getting into your email and then therefore being able to get into your RuneScape account. Just make sure you triple check everything is super secure. The next update this week is the items kept on death. Before today's update, items kept on death would be based on high alch values. This had the upshot of certain items like a Robin Hood hat being lost over a rune med helm. But now, items kept on death are decided by the Grand Exchange. So here we can see a Robin Hood hat, a rune plate body and a dragon fire shield are being protected above rune plate legs, a rune kite shield and a rune full helm. This should all mean that whenever you die, the amount you lose should be considerably less because the Grand Exchange has a much greater pull on the price of items in our economy. The downside of having items kept on death being based on the Grand Exchange value is that untradeable items don't have a Grand Exchange value. But to address this, the Old School RuneScape team have estimated values for untradeable items on the Grand Exchange. However, this has had a few side effects. Here I found a 2007 Scape Reddit post where someone's Dragon Defender was being lost compared to their prayer potions and I believe their stat restore potions. I'm not 100% sure what those potions are. However, having a defender lost compared to a prayer potion to me doesn't quite seem right. The next update this week is the Amulet of Eternal Glory. This was originally polled as the Golden Amulet of Glory, however plenty of players said it sounded strange and something like the Amulet of Eternal Glory would sound a lot better, and I agree with them. The Amulet of Eternal Glory is an Amulet of Glory with unlimited charges. However, they're very hard to come by because in order to get them, you have to go up to the Fountain of Rune and you'll have a 1 in 25,000 chance of receiving an Amulet of Eternal Glory when charging your Amulets of Glory. Due to their amazing power and their rarity, they are going to be extremely valuable. And due to their value, more people are going to want to go and try and create them at the Fountain of Rune, which should hopefully revive the PKing scene there. Something the Old School RuneScape team have kind of struggled with in the past, however hopefully something like this will really help out. Finally, we've got the other news and the bug fixes. It's now possible to choose the value at which alchemy warnings appear by right-clicking the alchemy spell in your spellbook tab. The Ring of Suffering can now be imbued at the Nightmare Zone to double its stats. When reporting players, it's now possible to add them to your ignore list by checking a box found on the report interface. Farming shops now sell compost packs. The Midsummer event has now been removed and will return again next summer. Abyssal demons have had the Abyssal Dagger added to their drop table with a drop rate of 1 in 32,000. Which will hopefully make the Abyssal Demons a much more interesting creature to kill despite the rarity of that drop. Bind and freeze effects in Castle Wars should no longer carry over when you respawn on death. Burying Lava Dragon bones in the Lava Dragon Isle will now give you 3 times as much experience rather than 2 times as much. The wild dogs in the Brimhaven dungeon are no longer aggressive. Zombies found on Harmony Island will no longer be aggressive to players who have completed the Great Brain Robbery quest. Gilded boots have had their model tweaked to be completely gold, which is really nice because before the boots had a really strange brown colour at the top of them. And Bridges in Trouble Brewing minigame are now once again flammable. Pets with multiple forms now share a bank holder with each other. Doggish Khan chests can now be picked as expected when carrying a hair clip as well as a lockpick. Hero's Quest has been made slightly more clear. Anyone who was confused should now find Straven a little bit more informative and the quest journal more useful. The location of the lyre when equipped has been adjusted to suit the character better, which as we can see makes it actually look like you're holding the item as opposed to just balancing it on the end of your hand. It's no longer possible to cast alchemy spells on the progress hat. They've resolved an issue where the Dark Mage was not repairing some of the player's rune pouches. A graphical error where a male character has Armadillo chestplate equipped has now been fixed. They've corrected some spelling in dialogue with the Overseer. They've corrected some spelling on the Bone Key examine text. Eric in Yahitso will now correctly address players based on their gender. They've added the Motherlode Mine to the mining skill guide. Tribal masks are now listed with the correct names in the costume room. The delay before you can eat food after closing the bank in Deadman mode has been reduced. They fixed an issue where a small area of the Varrock Castle wasn't guarded in Deadman mode, and alchemy spells can no longer be cast in pest control. If you want to discuss this update, please go on the forums or do so in my comments below. Personally, I really like this week's update, apart from the Item Incinerator. I thought the update idea was rather stupid when they polled it. I've never really come across an item in game where I've thought I need some kind of incinerator to get rid of this. Alongside that, I also think that the little graphic they've put in the bank looks rather ugly. However, luckily, I can keep it toggled off and I don't expect to need it, so I'm going to toggle it off for as long as possible. Hopefully, that will be permanent. Apart from that, I'm really excited about the items kept on death. That's something I've wanted since they added the Grand Exchange. The Amulet of Eternal Glory will be wonderful. I'm planning on buying one, however, I don't know if I've got the money yet because it will be quite expensive. And I'm fairly happy with all the other news. That's generally things that have come in from the latest Old School RuneScape content poll. If you want to watch my video on the latest Old School RuneScape developer blog, please click here for raid rewards. And please click here if you want to watch a trailer I created for the Demon Slayer quest. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and share, and if you want to keep up to date with the Old School RuneScape updates, dev blogs and polls, please subscribe. I've been Lewis, thanks for watching, goodbye.